So, when we're talking about Sales Navigator, a lot of companies and a lot of salespeople will use it, and they'll use it like an email directory or a telephone book. And that really seems to be the consensus of what people are doing is they look at Sales Navigator and go, wow, this incredible directory. I can find anybody. But what tends not to happen is people don't really think about, okay, I found this directory. What's the best way to engage them? And what happens is literally we vomit out sales pitches through in-mails and emails. But if you look at all the stats are saying outreach volumes have gone up by 70%, 70% increase in outreach. Yet only 24% of salespeople are exceeding their quota. So we're doing more, but we're not getting any more success. In fact, response rates have fallen by 30%. So we're doing more and getting less out. Why is this? We've got this amazing Sales Navigator tool. It's incredible, but why is all this going awry? Well, let's just think about it. Our decision makers, they're getting more pitches from more people. They're getting more irrelevant pitches. So even if your pitch is relevant, they're getting a ton of others that are just clogging up their inbox, their mailbox on LinkedIn, and the default position is becoming, if I don't recognize it, I'm going to bin it. So there's only so far you can play this, and there's a whole industry come up about how you can be a bit more smarter. But there's only so many clever ways to start an in-mail. There's only so many clever ways to make a subject line so people will open it. And once you've exhausted them, you're done. You're done. And we are reaching that point whereby the volume of outreach, we're exhausting all of the novel tactics. So we've had the mug with the name on, we've got personalized videos, and they're all great. They're all great. The problem is they're being used in volume, they're being used untargeted. And so we have now a position whereby, despite all of the data, the tech that we have at our fingertips, we're just not hitting the mark. So Sales Navigator gives you all of this wealth of information. It can tell you whether a company's growing, hiring. It can tell you interest levels, buyer intent. It does all of this stuff, but we're still treating it like sales has become a machine gun. And it's actually a self-fulfilling belief almost, because what's happening is you fire out a ton of emails or in-mails and you get some bites, so it rewards you. That works. And then you do it again and you get a few more bites, and then you do it again and you get a few more bites. But the problem is everybody's jumping on this bandwagon. So everybody's picking up a machine gun. And so now we're in a situation whereby your decision maker's probably been pitched 5 times that same day that you're doing it. How do you compete in that? There's only so much that a subject line or a quirky message will make a difference. So what we're doing is talking to companies and talking to people about a different way of doing things. It can't be right that the best salesperson's success is like 2 or 3%. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that this sales skill, that companies with great products and services can only win 2 or 3%. And it comes down to a numbers game. And this mentality of a numbers game has basically reduced sales to the lowest common denominator. It's reduced it to, we just fire out pitches and find low-hanging fruit. It's actually made us quite lazy, because all of this technology has told us that we don't need to invest any time in anybody. We don't need to build any relationships. We'll just find the people who are interested, and the other people aren't interested. But that's wrong. It's totally wrong. We put down that actually this is the best we can get. Really? Really? I know companies with CRMs clogging up, literally filling up their do not contact opt-outs. I've had sales reps talk to me frustrated that they've been given a load of accounts and the decision makers are on do not contact lists. Why? Because somebody's machine gunned them before. And this is not about 50 quid sales. If it was 50 quid sales, I could understand it. If you've got an addressable market of 5 million potential prospects, there's an element or an argument to say, let's machine gun them. Let's just do something in volume because it makes sense. But when you're talking about companies where they're selling 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, is that really the approach that we should be taking? Just think about this. How much business could you have had that is now on a do not contact list? So here's where I believe we need to go with sales. We've got to stop machine gun. Now, there's a space for machine gun. Marketing can send out blogs and event invites and all that kind of stuff, email marketing type stuff. But sales should be a sniper driven or sniper focused activity. That's where we should be. And LinkedIn Sales Navigator gives you all of that power because, number one, you've got the research tools. You've got the search and find. It's one of the most accurate, up-to-date B2B databases there is. So that's the first thing. You can get a whole backstory from the person's profile. You can get intel on the company. So you can know what the state of the company is, what they're doing, what's their focus, where they're hiring, where they're contracting. All of that stuff is clear and laid out in Sales Navigator. You can save those people as leads and accounts, and LinkedIn will alert you to new activity so you can be in there to engage. The key with Sales Navigator to really being successful is to actually use it, become a sales sniper, where it's about relationships first. You see, in classic sales environments, we find the interest and then try and build the relationship, or we get the sale and try and build the relationship. In a world where everybody's shouting, everybody's screaming, everybody's saying, me, 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 we're the best, relationships matter because relationships close deals. Relationships drive things through. Relationships, people who are known to other people don't get ignored. So instead of putting the relationship after interest, put it before. Now, some of you will say, well, what if it doesn't convert? It will. Just a matter of time. It's a matter of time and investment. I read something recently from somebody that was sent to me. They'd wanted to win a particular contract for years, and it'd become like a little mission of theirs. And they kept kind of falling at the hurdle. And they built some relationships and they won. Now, was it just their time or was the relationships played a part? You can decide that. But I can tell you now, if somebody knows your name, you're harder to be ignored in the inbox. If somebody recognizes your face, they're more likely to be responsive to you. And so LinkedIn provides us with the opportunity to, number one, build relationships with people we've never met. Brilliant tool. But it also allows us to engage people and people to know us so that we can open more opportunities. So relationships are the key. All of this noise that's happening right now, there's some great tech out there, brilliant tech, but it's actually made it easier for people who don't really understand the nature of sales to just machine gun people and be successful. Those days are coming to an end. Not because the tech's no good, but because the success is not there. And the volumes will have to keep going up and up and up, and it will get harder and harder to engage buyers. Volume of outreach goes up, response rates goes down because we're creating more noise. So for us, if we want to sell more and we want to win more business, we have to create a signal that cuts through all of that noise. And that signal is relationship. We'll never write the perfect outreach email. We'll never write the perfect follow-up sequence. All of those things are will be different for every person. But if we invest in relationships, we don't have to rely on our skill to copywrite. We rely on our ability to talk to human beings. So Sales Navigator, absolutely powerful tool. Most people are using it wrong. They're using it as an email directory. But what it really is the intelligence and the alerts and the information to help you strategically build relationships with people you can add value to, and that there is opportunity there. So Sales Navigator, I absolutely recommend, but I would encourage you to think of it as a relationship first approach. If you do that, you will sell to less people, but you will win more business, or you will pitch less people rather, but you will win more business because you're now doing something different than everybody else. You're becoming different than everybody else, and you're becoming known to your prospects. You're becoming known to the people you want to do business with. So think about this. Go try it. If you loved what I've been talking about, please do drop me a message and say, Dean, I'd love to know about this. If you want to know more about what I do, come and find me. But key relationships are the key to unlocking more business.